Welcome all of you in today's lecture on inorganic chemistry. In previous lecture, we completed the unit first. Today, we started the unit number second, in which we discuss about the ionic bond. Friends, before we start the second unit, that is in A part, we discuss the ionic bond. First of all, we see the introduction of that ionic bond. Here, the ionic bond is formed between two ions by the transfer of one electron from one atom to another. From one atom to another atom, that means A and B atom forms the A-B molecule. If that bond is ionic bond, then one of the electron is transferred from A to B or B to A. If the electron is transferred from A to B, then B carries negative charge and A carries the positive charge. If the B atom transfer the electron to the A atom, then B atom carries positive charge and A atom carries negative charge. That means that ionic bond depends upon the transfer of electron. That's why that bond is also called as the electrovalent bond. That means ionic bond is also known as the electrovalent bond. Then that introduction depends upon the approach of Cossé. Walther Cossé stated that the ionic bond which is formed between two atoms, the one atom is alkali metal and another atom is halogens or non-metals. Okay, in periodic table, Walther Cossé approach based upon the periodic table. By considering the periodic table can be written as like that. Here there is presence of alkali metal and here there is presence of noble gas. Adjacent to noble gas there is presence of halogen families. Okay, here there is presence of halogen, here there is presence of noble gas and here there is presence of alkali metal. The bond formed between the alkali metal and halogen, then the noble gas acts as a boundary for the alkali metals and halogen for the formation of ionic bond. Here that alkali metals are electropositive, that means that have a tendency to lose the electron and attain the noble gas electronic configuration. Here the halogens that gain the one electrons and converted into the noble gas electronic configuration. So Cossé states that the noble gas acts as a boundary between alkali metals and halogens to form the ionic bond. Here also the transfer of electron is taken place, so that's why it is also the electrovalent bond. If we consider the example of formation of NaCl molecules. NaCl molecules. Then sodium, it is the nucleus and that is the outermost valence electron carries one electron in outermost valence. That is the sodium. And chlorine, the nucleus of chlorine and outermost valence electron carries 7 electrons. Here there is presence of one unpaired electron. Then sodium donates the electron to the chlorine atom and that chlorine atom becomes negative by the gain of electron. Now at that time its outermost valence electron is completely filled and it attains the noble gas electronic configuration. Similarly, by the loss of one electron from the outermost valence electron of the sodium, then the inner shell acts as an outermost valence shell. Inner shell acts as an outermost valence shell which is completely filled. So that sodium also attained the noble gas electronic configuration. That means electropositive atom combines with electronegative atom by the transfer of one electron, then it forms the ionic bond. That means electropositive species combine with electronegative species, forming the bond between electropositive and electronegative species. That bond is an ionic bond. That means there is development of electrostatic force of attraction between Na positive, that is Na positive and Cl negative. That means here just simple way, the sodium carries the positive charge and chlorine carries the negative charge that get attracted towards each other by some force of attraction. That force of attraction is the electrostatic force of attraction and that electrostatic force of attraction called as the ionic bond. Okay, are you got it here? That means the ionic bond can simply define as the bond formed between two atoms by the transfer of one electron from one atom to other atom. This such type of bond is called as an ionic bond, or it is also related with the transfer of electrons, so that's why it is called the electrovalent bond. Okay, are you got it that? Then we discuss the lattice energy. Lattice energy. The energy released when 1 moles of gaseous cation combined with 1 moles of gaseous anion to form ionic crystal is called as lattice energy. Then how to define the lattice energy? Lattice energy can define as the energy released when 1 mole of gaseous cation, when 1 mole of gaseous cation combined with 1 mole of gaseous anion to forms the molecules, that is ionic crystal. Some amount of energy is released and that released energy is called as the lattice energy. It's called as lattice energy. That means when cation and anion in a gaseous state forms the bond and forms the molecule, that is the ionic crystal, or it is solid, that solid ionic crystal, the formation of that ionic solid crystal, some amount of energy get released during the formation of that ionic crystal. That energy is called as the lattice energy. Okay. Then how to determine the lattice energy? Lattice energy, by experimentally it is not possible to determine the lattice energy. Then how it is determined? That lattice energy can be determined by using the thermodynamics way. Then which thermodynamics way here use? Here we use the law of Hesses, or Hesses law of thermodynamics. Hesses law of thermodynamics states that the change in enthalpy is same whether the reactions completed in one step or takes place in a series of steps. The enthalpy is same if the reaction is taking place in one step or in a series of steps, both having the same enthalpy. On that basis, we consider the example, that is formation of NaCl. Okay, in NaCl, what happens? Here, friends, the thermodynamic cycle on which the enthalpies depend, or that experimental value of lattice energy can be calculated on the basis of thermodynamic cycle. That cycle is called as the Bohr-Haber cycle. Bohr-Haber cycle, and that cycle is depends upon the Hesses law of thermodynamics. Hesses law of thermodynamics. Here we consider the example of formation of NaCl. That NaCl is formed in a gaseous state, and here the chlorine negative in a gaseous state, it forms the Na positive and Cl negative as an ionic crystal. Okay, then how to determine the lattice energy? By using the thermodynamic cycle, that is the Bohr-Haber cycle, by using the Hesses law of thermodynamics. Then that formation of NaCl is divided into different steps. Here the first step is the conversion. Here the metallic sodium, which is in a solid state, that get converted into the gaseous state. Here metallic sodium is get converted into the gaseous sodium atom. That state is called as the sublimation state. So that's why the change in enthalpy for sublimation is sodium metal is converted into the sodium gas. Sodium metal is converted into the sodium gas. Just a minute. Sodium metal is converted into the sodium gas. That means the change in enthalpy for sublimation, or enthalpy change for sublimation. Then second step is dissociation. Dissociation, in which the chlorine molecule in a gaseous state that get dissociated by enthalpy of dissociation, that get converted into the chlorine atom in a gaseous state. Here that delta Hd is the enthalpy change for dissociation. Okay, then third step is the conversion, that sodium in a gaseous state that provided the energy of ionization that gets ionized into Na positive in a gaseous state. Na positive in a gaseous state. Then fourth step is the conversion, where the chlorine atom that get converted into the Cl negative in a gaseous state by providing the extra energy. That means one electron is added. That electron affinity. Here I is the ionization energy. By that four way you have to convert the metallic sodium and chlorine molecule in a gaseous state. Okay, here we obtain the Na positive cation, that is sodium cation is obtained. Here chlorine anion is obtained. Both are in a gaseous state. That means at that time they are ready to combine with each other. That means here there is fifth step, that the combination Na positive plus in a gaseous state plus Cl negative in a gaseous state, that get forms the Na positive and Cl negative in a solid state plus some amount of energy get released, and that released energy is called as the lattice energy. Okay, are you got it that? Then according to Hess's law, the Na positive in a gaseous state or it can also be simplified that way, that is the sodium in a solid state plus chlorine gas that get forms the NaCl by enthalpy of formation. That is the one step. In one step we obtain the sodium in a solid state, chlorine gas molecule combines to form the NaCl with enthalpy change for the formation of molecule, that is NaCl. Okay, here Hess's law states that the change in enthalpy of the reaction is same whether the reaction takes place in one step or involve series of steps Okay, that means the delta HF is equal to delta HS, heat of sublimation, then half delta HD plus ionization energy plus electron affinity plus U, that is the lattice energy. That is the equation to calculate the value of lattice energy. For example, if we take the example, if we know the heat of formation of molecule, heat of sublimation of molecules, heat of dissociation of molecules, ionization energy and electron affinity, then you have to calculate the lattice energy. Okay, here that means if we consider the example of formation of NaCl, if we know the value of heat of sublimation, that is delta HS is equal to 108.5 kilojoule per mole. Okay, then delta HD, that is heat of dissociation, which is found to be 243 kilojoule per mole. Then enthalpy of or ionization energy, which is equals to 495.2 kilojoule per mole. Then electron affinity, if that electron affinity is minus 348.3 kilojoule per mole, and heat of formation of NaCl molecule, that is minus 381.8 kilojoule per mole. By putting the value of delta S, delta Hd, ionization energy, electron affinity, and heat of formation of molecules. Here we take that equation, that is minus 381.8 equals to delta Hs 108.5 plus half into 243, okay, plus ionization energy, that is 495.2 plus electron affinity, that is minus 348 plus U, that is lattice energy. By calculating that, finally you have to obtain that U equals to minus 758.3 kilojoule per mole. By that way, you have to calculate the lattice energy of any molecules if we know the heat of sublimation, heat of dissociation, ionization energy, electron affinity, and heat of formation of ionic crystal. Then you have to calculate the lattice energy of that ionic crystal. Okay, are you got it that? Okay. Now friends, today we will stop here, and remaining portion we discuss in our next lecture. Okay, thank you.